Stanislaus County Sheriff announcing today that the man on the run for killing Newman Police Corporal Singh just hours after Christmas was arrested. Gustavo Perez Arriaga was taken into custody near Bakersfield. The sheriff says Arriaga, who is in the country illegally, was trying to flee to Mexico. We also learned today that Arriaga had crossed the border in Arizona several years ago and had 2 prior arrests for DUI and also known gang ties. Officials also arrested 5 other people, including the suspect's brother and co-worker, for trying to protect him. While the Stanislaus County Sheriff said today that he is certainly pleased with the arrest, he says the shooting of the officer was preventable, and he criticized the state sanctuary law for protecting the suspect. Stanislaus County Sheriff Adam Christensen joins me now live. First off, Sheriff, you've got to be happy that this suspect is finally in custody.
We are. We're very pleased, and it's a collective sigh of relief that this killer is off the street and our community is safer for it.
I want to talk about something that you brought up during the news conference today, and you were really critical of the state sanctuary policy, even angry, I would say.
Frustrated, I think, is probably a better characterization. In my opinion, this could have been prevented.
Tell me what you mean by that.
So there have been several pieces of legislation that have been passed and signed by the governor which provide some level of protection to criminals in our community. I think the effort is honorable in people's belief, or at least our elected officials' belief, that this somehow protects innocent people from ICE, which is simply not true. All this does is protects criminals. It's sanctuary for people who commit crimes in our community. They victimize and exploit people, and it prevents or prohibits law enforcement from communicating with ICE about this type of activity. So in this case, this suspect, having 2 prior arrests for DUI and gang affiliation, under SB54, the current sanctuary state law, I or any law enforcement officer would be prevented or prohibited statutorily from telling ICE about this guy. And had we been able to do that, this contact probably never would have occurred.
So where do we go from here, Sheriff? Do you plan to reach out to elected officials to try to persuade them to make some changes?
I've already done that. I've worked tirelessly with my colleagues leading up to SB54. We worked directly with the governor's office. The governor, in fact, did listen to the sheriffs, and there were some amendments in the bill that helped us out. But the fact remains that there's a problem. This legislation is dangerous. And while I only have 11 days left in my career, I'm sure my colleagues will carry on with the governor-elect, and hopefully we can have a dialogue and discussion about the negative effects that this type of legislation has in our communities.
Do you think, though, the death of a police officer just a few hours after Christmas during a traffic stop, do you think that will be enough to persuade people to make changes?
I certainly hope so. While I don't want to politicize the death of Officer Singh, I want to focus on the fact that he is an immigrant who came here lawfully and legally in pursuit of his American dream. I don't want people to forget his service and sacrifice, and I don't want them to forget that his American dream was taken from him by a criminal, a convicted criminal and gang member. It's time to have an open, honest dialogue about what we're really trying to achieve in this country. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big supporter of lawful legal immigration. And I think that Congress needs to depolarize itself and start working on a path to citizenship that protects people who want to come here seeking a better life and allows law enforcement to weed out people who victimize and exploit others.
Sheriff, we don't have a whole lot of time left, and I know you can't share a whole lot about the investigation. It's my understanding, though, that Officer Singh's own handcuffs were used on the suspect. Can you tell us if he's now being interrogated, meaning the suspect, and what happens next with him?
So first of all, I would tell you that had this DUI traffic enforcement stop not gone bad, the suspect would have been wearing Officer Singh's handcuffs anyway because he was intoxicated and he was an impaired driver. We just simply provided him another opportunity to wear Officer Singh's handcuffs. And that's simply a statement that we're making for the Newman Police Department and the Singh family. Yes, right now, he is currently here at the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office and is being interviewed by detectives.